Hey, pack leaders is here. Friends are protecting families. We're Twin Pack. So I was talking to my wife today about the trading on my slow and steady, and I guess it's kind of like a mastermind I have with her. And sometimes I just bring things up, and she's like, "Hey, what about this? What about this?" All right. So I was like, "Hey, we got a $2,000 account. We're only trading $200 of that, and we're probably only making some days just 1%, so like $20 a day, whatever. It's like slow but steady. Will I ever get stopped out? Yeah, maybe one day, but it's gonna have to be a $10,000 move, and it'll be really difficult, right?" And I was like, well, so she wanted to, like, hey, you know what? Well, we need to make at least $200 a day, to kind of make a living off this, right? So to do that, we need to use our whole account, right? Because I'm only risking $200, and I'm making $20, that's like 10% off what I risk. So I risk the 2,000. That I can make the $200, right? It's still kind of the same. So, right? But then if I put the 2,000 and I don't use it, so it's only 1% of the whole account, right? And I'm only risking 10% of that 10%, which is just 1% of the whole account. If I risk the whole account, then I get 10% of the whole account, right? That'd be better. I was like, so what if I do 1x leverage and just risk the whole thing, right? And then the only thing is that if I risk the whole thing, there's going to be a day where it does crash 50%. And that day that comes, oh man, it's going down to 80, 60, 90%, right? Crash. Then that only happens on like those big severe times. And if it does happen, like, hey, we better sit out for a while, or, or, go back in later, like next year kind of thing, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do that and make those changes. And you're just gonna watch me work, okay? So here we go. All right, so I'm gonna go to my I'm gonna shut down my bot right now. I have both of them running at the same time, so they're both shut down. And I'm gonna go to my file, my user settings file, which is right here. And it's kind of a brief look at it, see what it's making. This is my ETH. It's at 15% right now, and then my BTC is at chugging along at 0.01%. Yeah, Bitcoin's going down right now, and so I think I'm losing most of what I'm earning. Right? Yeah, I made 20%. It's going down, but we're gonna DC all this down, and I don't get liquidated until way 42,000. Right? So way down here. Okay. Which is probably unlikely to happen because it's just been so long since we've been out there. Like back in beginning of August, right? So anyway, it could still happen. Who knows? So most likely it's just a little bit of a correction down. We're gonna buy all this up and watch it pop back up, and then we will be back in business. Okay? So I'm not scared. This is the slow and steady method. It's like, whatever. We'll gain it back. If anything, we'll buy more, and then whatever. So this is what I've been using. Okay. All right. So what I'm gonna do is, and yeah, like you don't have to worry about the ups and downs. All right. So what I'm gonna do now is change the leverage on my user settings file, right here, to 1x1 leverage, right here, to 1. And I think I have my code set up so that I don't change the leverage until I exit this position. So it's gonna stay at 5x until I completely when I'm in positive, I'll probably close it out just so that I can switch the leverage, but then I might be tempted to let it ride, who knows. All right, so then I'm gonna go ahead and change my wallet. I'm gonna go ahead and do 30% wallet for now, but allow it to use up the whole thing. Okay. And the way I do that is that I'm going to allow it to continually DCA without worrying about the high, low, no trade zone. I have this turned on so that it doesn't trade and it waits until it Fibonacci it down. But in the sense right now, I don't care. I don't need to do that. I'm going to let it pop back in and keep DCAing in. And it might add more positions. It's going to try to shift the rung line down. But it'll keep shifting it down as long as it keeps filling, and it'll keep refreshing the rungs and keep adding more and more until it pops back up. Okay, so that way I can buy more as it dumps down. Okay. All right, and then I have a refresh time in my rungs of a whole day, and I put that in the auto adjust. So I'm looking in the trend auto adjust. So that's, I'm looking for that right now. There's my trends for sideways. Okay, I set my leverage, which I did, and I think the other stuff's also in here. Trend, yeah, so I changed my refresh times. Oh no, wait, I don't think it's here. Set the trap. I don't want the, yeah, I want to set the trap on either way. I want to use, okay, I need to change it here to use 30% of my wallet, because no matter if I change it up there, my auto adjust is going to change it back to 10. So I need to change it here. Save that. So the auto adjust overrides everything. And enable simple trading. Okay, it's good, it's good, it's good. 10 rungs in, 10 rungs out. Take profit percentage, enable simple take loss. False, false, false. I'm only going to take 80% of, if I take profit immediately. I don't think I take profit immediately at all, except for when it's sideways, then I'll take profit immediately. Okay, so that should be good. And then if it stays up there 120 minutes and it doesn't take profit, then I'll take profit immediately right there. And only 80% of that. Okay. So now in my time here, I think this is where the auto adjust that I put when I first go in. I'm going to take 2 minutes to enter a position. Once I'm in a position, I'm going to probably refresh it a little more frequently. So when I'm in no position, I'm going to do that. 2 minutes to enter, and then refresh it. Now when I'm in a position, I want to refresh it maybe, I think 6 hours, a little too frequently. I think maybe every, let's try an hour for now, 60 minutes to refresh those rungs, because it's going to do what it needs to do. I'm going to save that. I'm going to look at the charts real quick to kind of see what happens in an hour, whether it makes sense to refresh it or not. Sometimes it does dump down for quite a while. And so this dump here took about an hour to do. 1, 2, 3, maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours before it kind of settled out. So I might want to refresh it around there so I can get back in and start buying up more and bring that DCA rung down. But if it continues more, then I'm going to add up more positions up here as it dumps down. So it's just a little bit of a risk. You might, so right now this is a refreshing every 6 hours. And it's gonna, if it moves down more, then it's in my favor to wait. But if it kind of pumps back up, then I should have added more here before I pump back up. Okay, but because I have 1x leverage, once I implement this, I do want to load up quite a bit, but not too much, but quite a bit where I can just start take profit here, sideways, dump 80% of that. If it continues down, I can continue DCAing in, and then if it's sideways up and I'm in profit, I can dump it again. So that's the benefit of adding more positions, so that I can bring that profit line down, and I can exit out if I need to on a sideways position. Now, if it just dumps so fast, so hard, then I have to then wait until, you know, 20,000 or something like that before I get liquidated, kind of thing. But all the while, I'm going to assume that we're bull running up. And I won't get liquidated until it just drops too much too fast. That's when I'll be in trouble. Okay. Okay. But all the while, we're gonna be, when we're in profit, we're gonna start taking money out, putting it to USDT, and kind of sorting that aside. So when it does dump down, we're like, hey, we've already recovered our 2,000, or maybe even more than that, $200 a day. In 10 days, we would probably double our account right there, and not lose unless it drops 50%. Which I would love to see it, you know, go into the 20,000 range, so that, you know, people can jump back in and buy more. But I do feel like it's gonna be staying up for quite a while, just with all the money we've been getting from the government, and 800, you know, we're getting $850 per kid, and we're gonna get that for the next 5 years, and et cetera, the $1 trillion expenditure bill, all that great stuff, right? So all it is going to go to inflation hedging assets. So it's going to have to move quite a bit against me to take me out. So all the while it does that, we're pulling things out on USDT. So I'm putting money to work. Okay. So I think 1 hour might be good. I think I might actually extend it to 2 hours from what I see, just to kind of give it some time. And if it does stay at 2 hours, then we'll go ahead and refresh those rungs. Okay. So we'll do that for now, and then we'll run it, test it, and see what happens. I'll go ahead and launch this back up. I'll see it refresh, and we'll see what happens. So let's go ahead and take a look. It's gonna kick up right now, and give some time. I'll pause it. All right, it's starting to work now. It cleaned up the sell rungs. It's gonna place them on the profit line right there, and then you should clean up the bottom rungs and then put it right where the last price is, so that we can DC some more in, and we'll probably DC at a bigger wallet, so that since it's at a bigger amount, it's gonna probably bring that profit line down quite a bit. So let's watch that clean up real quick. So it's gonna clean up from the first rung, so that it doesn't get hit, and then replace it right where the last price is, or at least it should. Yeah. So 315. So in about 3 rungs, I should have double the count. That should shift it quite a bit. If it comes down, we'll have a whole lot more positions to fill, and fill those rungs. Okay. Now as it comes down and it settles out a little bit, we'll probably refresh it every 2 hours, and then keep adding more positions, shift that line down once we're in line. Take profit, take profit. If it pumps up in the trend, we won't take profit, let it ride out, and then we have a trap right here, and that should be using, I might want to adjust that. It's I have a trap set, so it uses a certain percentage of my wallet. I think I might want to use a little more. The only thing about the trap is that it markets you in. It's great when it's pumping, but then when it pumps, it gets you in and it drops back down. It could leave you stuck hanging up with the higher position. So I think it's safe to just use a smaller amount here. Let me see where my rung. I think my rung is right here. I have it set to only 10% of my entire wallet. Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm gonna leave it. I mean, as soon as I'm in on that 10%, it pumps up, and I think there might be a setting here somewhere where this keeps coming on until I use up 10% of my wallet, where I use about 1,000. So this 215 will come up like maybe 4 times, and keep filling it as it pumps up, so that I use up at least 1,000 contracts or $200 in my account, 10%, and then it's good. So there's some kind of parameter somewhere. I don't want to figure it out right now, but I think that's decent enough to say, hey, it's pumping. Let's ride this wave. Let's just add a little more as it goes up. But then I don't want to get stuck with a heavy position on top either, as it goes. Okay. All right. So this is the slow and steady method using 1x leverage. It hasn't changed it because I don't want to deleverage and use up more of my wallet to deleverage that. And I'm just gonna use more of this, and plus I think we're at a good position where I don't think it's gonna drop to 10,000 within the time I'm doing this video. I think we have some pretty good pumps coming up. Okay. All right. There it is. Thanks for watching. Maybe I should do my ETH too. Let's do that. So let's share my ETH. What's my ETH going at now? I'm not gonna talk about it because I'm not supposed to, but I'm just gonna check on it, so you can check on it with me. So let's see. All right, I'm in a short right now. I think this has a $80 wallet right now. So far we're at 1185. Derivatives. Yeah, $80. So maybe 82 bucks, making $8. So that's about 10%. Oops, oh, that's my audiobook. Yeah, if you want an audiobook, let me know. Got some promo codes you could probably pull off and use. So yeah, 80 bucks. So yeah, a little $8. So a little bit over 12% right now. Dynamic. my ETH here. There. Oh, I'm at 15%. Okay, so that's what I have today. Anyways, did I just talk about it? Oh man. Okay. Well, I'm just checking it. Thanks for watching me work. Don't do it. Don't do what I do. Okay? Alright, we'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.